Hello everyone, it's Stray Faye here with another episode of Variable Barricade. Alright, let's finish up this board. Mistakes have been made by Ichiya. He was starving Hibari, but at least the truth finally came out. And he did run away from home. A lot of the guys seem to have just up and disappeared from home. But there's always the repentance chapter. Let's start. Bistro Ichiya. Ichiya finally returns and makes things up to me. Prepares a one-night-only dream restaurant. Is it an all-you-can-eat? It better be an all-you-can-eat for Hibari. Alright, let's begin. Let's play this event. He still hasn't checked his messages. Not even leaving you on red. I sighed and slipped my phone into my pocket. I'd lost count of the number of times I'd sighed since last night. Feeling gloomy, I mumbled to myself. You could at least reply to me. Ugh. After all the times you, ignored him. I'm guessing this is Ichiya. Good morning, my sweet. And what a beautiful sunny morning it is. Gasp. An unmistakably schmaltzy voice rang out. I looked up, not sure I believed my ears. I hope you've had a spectacular morning so far. He's acting like nothing's wrong. You didn't even check your messages though. Are you hiding something? I knew it. Waltzing into the living room with a spring in his step was none other than the source of my recent tribulations. What on earth? Why are you... Didn't you run away? Run away? Was that just our assumption? Ichiya looked at me, clearly confused. I mean, you left the house. You didn't cook for a day. I mean, I guess that's fair. But didn't he not even come home at night? I mean, you didn't reply to my whiz messages. What? You messaged me? Ah, sorry, my sweet. My phone battery died and I didn't get a chance to charge it. Then where in the world have you been? Actually, could you hold that thought? I've got a rush errand to take care of. We'll talk later, Kay. Still dazed, I watched Ichiya dash into the foyer and slip on his shoes. As he stepped out the door. Just wait. Unlike tonight and night, you won't forget. It's just cooking. Nothing else. Nothing unsinful or anything. The door closed with an abrupt click. I stared at it as I tried to comprehend what just happened. He's acting like nothing's wrong. She was just getting all worried and upset for nothing. Have you received any word from the gentleman who, slipped into the night, shall we say? Heard from him. Tsumugi was smiling pleasantly, unaware that her question prompted a vein to start throbbing in my head. Oh, now she's in my head. Oh yes, I heard from him. He'd returned this morning. He waltzed in without a care in the world. I looked down at my hands and realized my clenched knuckles had gone white. Him? Who cares about him? I certainly don't. Tsumugi's smile faded into a puzzled expression when she saw my vehement reaction. It's not like I care for him or anything. Baka. Welcome home, Miss Hibari. Did you enjoy your afternoon of shopping and tea with Miss Kano? Uh-oh. She stress-shopped. That's what Hibari does. Just throws money around. Another day of impulse buying and venting to Tsumugi. Yeah, yes, the privilege of the rich. Casca was well aware of that too. His sarcasm-tinged smile was not lost on me. It set my teeth on edge. He walked past me, opened the trunk of the car, and observed its contents with a bright voice. My. It certainly seemed like you had a fun time. I made a perfectly reasonable number of purchases. No, there was nothing reasonable about that number. I knew that better than anyone. Kasuga turned to look at me, still wearing his all-knowing smile. I found something else to look at. Yes, the spoiled young lady. I'm home. I'd barely stepped inside the door when Nayata came flying into the foyer from the living room. Oh, great. They're already hounding us. Oh, gosh. Welcome back. You're home already? What do you mean it's like nighttime? Yes? Oh, well, you see, stuff kinda happened. Stuff? Yeah, I was kinda really wrong, so a lot of stuff didn't actually happen. So much nothing happened, it was kind of a problem. And, oh god. Is this Nayata's way of, like, trying to hide something? Kasuga cut off Nayata, who was flailing around for reasons that were not the least bit clear to me. Can we please give the miss a chance to go to a room and change out of her uniform? Oh, right, yeah, changing is good. Changing is important. Go right ahead. You know, Nayata can never keep a secret from us. Like, it's impossible. Now, if you please, miss. Huh? Hey! Kasuga gave me a firm push from behind, steering me up and into my rooms. What in the world got into everybody today? First, it was Ichiya this morning, and then Nayata is extra hyper. I changed into normal clothes and went back down to the living room. Still confused, I opened the door and... Hey, babe, we were waiting for you. The fun's just about to get started. Well then, shall we begin? I look forward to having ever so much fun. Fun? What's supposed to be fun? They use the word fun, often meant terrifying. My three suitors, still smiling suspiciously, dragged me into the dining room, even as my heart beat like a drum. Nothing bad's gonna happen. Kasuga's there. Flanked by Shion and Taiga on either side, I had nowhere to go but inside the door, behind which I found Ichiya standing in an apron. Oh, I was cooking. Nothing new about this sight. Making visual contact with Ichiya usually meant enduring the pickup lines he reflexively lobbed at me. But this time he didn't say a word. He inhaled then. First, let me apologize. You are right, Hibari. I was only thinking about how to please normal girls. I hadn't seen you as a person at all. What I did was just pure self-gratification. I tried to push it all on you. I'm sorry. Ichiya gave me a formal bow and apology. I knew I had to say something, but I couldn't find any words. I was just thinking about apologizing to him. We stood there in silence for a few moments, then Ichiya slowly straightened back up. From now on, I want to be sure I'm looking squarely at you. Will you give me a chance to redeem myself? To redeem yourself? I had no idea how to answer that. The other three decided to interject as I stood frozen, at a loss for words. So yeah, from here on out, let's just run the show. Huh? Come one, come all. Step inside our one night only super duper cafe of dreams. Bistro Ichiya. Yay, applause, applause. Taiga spoke that part out loud too. This bistro was opened by Chef Ichiya, so he can provide one special young lady with precisely the meals she wishes to eat, correct? Yep, just leave it to me. I'll make tonight the greatest feast you've ever had. Wow, great, neato. This is super spiffy, isn't it? Huh? I suppose. I blinked, still trying to wrap my mind around the cooking show suddenly unfolding around me. Welcome, guest. What would you like to order? Order? I did not expect that question, and I was left searching for words. Shion looked at me and smiled gently. This is a magical restaurant, where whatever dish you truly wish to eat will be presented to you. Don't be shy. Speak the culinary wish dwelling in your heart. No pretenses, no polite fictions. Simply what I actually wanted, nothing more. Tsumugi said I should too. I took a small breath and looked Ichiya right in the eye. He was nervous, I could tell that much. Making up my mind, I said, I want Japanese food, please. Something completely normal, completely ordinary. It needn't be fancy at all. Just some warm, comforting, home cooking, and a generous portion of it. Nayata, clearly waiting for his cue, promptly piped up with a cheerful smile. He's like the waiter. Order in, chef! One Japanese dinner to Hibari's liking. Roger! Sit back and wait. I'll have it right up. Ichiya gave me a confident wink, then strutted over to the stove. Did he actually understand me this time? I hope he did. Desperately. He like can't control himself. I sat politely at the table, sending frantic mental prayers to whomever was listening as I watched Ichiya. After a moment, Taiga sauntered over. Yeah, the dude's a poser and a schmuck. And a try-hard ding-dong who can't catch a clue to save his life. You know that, right, babe? But he's still giving things as much thought as he can manage. Think you could just do him the favor of seeing him for who he is, just for today? Taiga gave me a crooked smile. I simply nodded in return. Time passed, and soon plates were carried from the stove and piled before me on the kitchen table. None of them were plated in any cute fashion. None of them were fanciful, exotic, or unusual. All of them were familiar, warm, and steaming with delicious aromas. I made the nikujaga beef stew, a little on the sweet side. There's curried fish, egg custard, and stewed soybeans and seaweed. The miso soup has tofu and wakame. At last, but not least, he placed a small bowl filled to the brim with hot, fluffy white rice. Go on and dig in. Can't not Japanese without the white rice. Thank you for the meal. Thanks for the food! Alright, and then I'll get to eat too. I put my hands together in polite prayer, still looking at the food spread in front of me. I never expected that Ichiya, of all people, would make a common comfort food like this. Feeling slightly weird about it, I hesitantly took a sip of the miso soup. It was delicious. Not only that, it tasted almost exactly like the miso soup I'd grown up on. The flavor of the broth. Just the right amount of miso. I couldn't help but let slip a happy, nostalgic sigh. And to top it off, it had tofu and wakame seaweed, my two favorite ingredients in miso soup. The nikujaga beef stew and curried fish also tasted much like the dishes I loved as a child. That's quite the look of bliss, Hibari. I felt a little stab of embarrassment at Shion's words. I ducked my head and concentrated on my plate, my bliss. Next to me, both Nayata and Taiga had already vacuumed up their first portions. Nearly in sync, they raised their empty rice bowls and said, Seconds! And you, Hibari. Ichiya's voice was soft, timid. I paused to think for a moment, then... Yes, please. I held out my rice ball, and Ichiya's eyes gleamed. He took it over to the rice cooker. When he came back, it was piled high with just a little more than the average serving. He's doing all he can to make it up to you, girl. Here. Thanks. It was the first time I'd asked Ichiya for seconds. It was a dinner that made my heart as happy as my tummy. After everyone had had a chance to eat their fill, Ichiya went back up to the stove. Returning to the table, he placed a small, cute dish in front of me. Oh. I want to say, I don't really recognize the dish, but is it like, was it candy chestnuts that she liked from Sumiko? Little golden chestnuts swimming in plenty of sweet, sweet sauce. And over it all, sprinklings of distinctive black sesame seeds. Oh my gosh, he didn't! Why don't you give it a try? At Ichiya's urging, I picked up the little black toothpick and speared a chestnut. I held it up for a moment, then slowly put it in my mouth. Syrup that was sweet but not cloying. The mildness of tender chestnuts, perfectly accented by the syrup-sweet kiss. I knew it. This is Sumiko's candied chestnut recipes. Is it, close to the flavor you know? Did he, like, go all the way to the estate and, like, ask Sumiko to, like, teach me your ways? Just so he could please Hibari. Like, let me learn of the nostalgic flavors, please. How? I was so moved I felt tears prickling at my eyes. Ichiya smiled and ducked his head self-consciously. I heard about Sumiko from Kasuga right after that whole Daifuku cake fiasco in the living room. Traumatized him. Okay, he did go to Sumiko. That's sweet. He told me that you really enjoyed her homey way of cooking. That you were raised on it, practically. So I asked him if he could arrange for me to meet with her. I wanted her to teach me the recipes that you grew up loving. And that's why you vanished? I learned a lot from her, both about cooking and about you. Looking up at Ichiya's smile, I said, which one is it? Thank you. Alright, just a normal thank you. Alright, he has a two-handed sword. Thank you. The words slipped out of my mouth with an ease that surprised even me. I mean, learning all this from Sumiko in such a short time had to be really tough. I felt like I'd waited an eternity for his text last night, but I'm sure that the time flew by for him while under Sumiko's tutelage. I looked down, abashed, but he only smiled kindly. It was the least I could do. Hurting you like I did was no small sin. I'm glad that my efforts paid off. I was able to make you happy today. Thank you for letting me. Making me happy, he says. I'm surprised he could say that with a straight face. I had no idea what to say next, so I deliberately turned away from him. Though I wasn't looking straight at him, I could still feel heat slowly rising in my cheeks. I like to think I know a lot of different types of way to please girls of all types. But right now, the one I want to please the most is you. And this is the only way I could think of that might work. I'm very, very glad you liked it. I was used to seeing Ichiya's fake, cheesy smiles all the time, but this one was different. It was the most natural, happiest grin I'd ever seen. Something about it was infectious, goading me to action. I took a deep breath and... Ichiya, I'm sorry. I put up a front and didn't try to tell you what I really wanted. Then I blew up at you for not knowing. What? No! You didn't do anything wrong at all, Hibari. It was entirely my fault for... Okay, yeah, whoa, we get it. Taiga suddenly interrupted us. He was looking at me with a particularly mischievous smirk. Go on, babe. Give him a kiss and make up. No, she don't really mean that. He's like, what? Like 10 years older. What? Huh? Why should I? Is he serious? Is he just trying to like break up the apology fest here? I desperately tried to contain my confusion while Taiga smiled at me. Like it was the most natural thing ever. Come on, babe. The man went to hell and back for you. It won't hurt nothing to reward him a bit. Come on, high school girl's first kiss, that's a big ask. But, I suppose Ichiya did make some significant effort. I guess he's deserving of forgiveness. Just this once. No, wait, really? Kiss? Like that kind of kiss? Really? They're gonna... Oh my gosh. Oh, shut up. Ow, Taiga! That hurt. Nayata rubbed the back of his head where Taiga had audibly smacked him. You don't mind, do you, babe? Show him that you're a hip and hot woman. Taiga, please, don't push her. It's rude, and you're making her uncomfortable. What? Don't you want a kiss from her? Well, yes. I'd definitely like that if she was willing to share one. We have like an audience here. Ichiya trailed off, his eyes slipping over to me, then quickly snapping back. I suppose Taiga did have a point. Ichiya had done a lot for my sake. I could show a little gratitude for it. In fact, I ought to. Can we just like give him a pat on the back or like a hug or something? Like, just feeling that uncomfortable. Right now, I think I could. Okay. I'll do it. Wait, what? But even he's like, what? Ichi's eyes popped open in shock. He turned to look at me and then froze. I said I'll give you a kiss. Now bend down. You're too tall. Oh. Is she gonna like not be able to do it? Yeah, babe, go for it. Oh, come on. Don't like... She probably doesn't want audience for this. Is it gonna be like a peck on the cheek or something? It's probably too soon for like a smooch. It's not gonna be on the lips, is it? That's too much. It's just gonna be on the cheek, right? Okay, Nayata. Alright, me and Nayata sharing the same brain cell is not reassuring, but okay. Ugh. The both of you are much too loud. All your blather is just making her more nervous. Ugh. Will y'all just shut up? I could blame my nerves on their chatter all I wanted, but it didn't make my heart pound any less. The closer I leaned towards Ichiya, the faster it beat, and the less my body wanted to obey my commands. Just a kiss on the cheek. It's a peck, no more. Not like I'm gonna kiss him on the lips or anything. I'm totally okay with a kiss on the cheek. Oh, barricade battle suddenly. Fall down. That's a weird phrase. Hibari? My lips were only an inch from his cheek when I completely froze up. Ichiya blinked at me, confused. He said, "You don't have to force yourself." Quiet. Chickening out now would shame the Tojo family name, would it? In the privacy of your own home. No. Okay, it's on the cheek, but why is he like all flustered? Isn't I don't get Ichiya. Woohoo! Not bad, babe. Way to go. Oh my gosh. How cute. My lips landed against something soft. At the same time, I felt a little of Ichiya's body heat. That flicker of warmth seeped from my lips up to my cheeks, all the way to my hairline. He's just gonna like blow up. The next second, I snapped back to myself, only to find that I had already shoved Ichiya away from me. Well, that was the limit. My push had made him stagger. He straightened back up and looked at me, his eyes dead serious. Silence stretched through the rooms. Unable to bear it for more than a few seconds, I grumbled. Say something! Ichiya's eyes took on a faraway look. He's never gonna live this down. That must be what it feels like to be kissed by a marshmallow. Did she really want to be compared to a marshmallow? Huh? Suddenly his eyes started to twinkle. I could almost see sparkles glittering around him. I took a step back. Tender lips, breath like an angel's. I'll cherish the memory of that kiss for the rest of my life. Please let me thank you with a hug. Ichiya held his arms wide and walked towards me. I squinched my eyes and shoved as hard as I could. Hibari! Even though he stumbled far enough to land on his bottom with an audible thud, his eyes still sparkled. Okay, well, he's not offended by the shove. I put my forehead in my hands and sighed. To my shock, it was a little warm. Okay. Silliness over. Why the other guys? Why did it have to be an audience? After that day, I guess the other guys were like watching the other stuff too. They definitely watched Taiga's hug. The meals at the house have been entirely ordinary dishes that you'd find on any family's table. Hibari, do you want seconds? Yes, please. This conversation had become commonplace too. Hot, steaming white rice and familiar flavors. Now that Ichiya had taken a page from Sumiko's recipe book, literally, his cooking soothed me. Here you go. Thanks. I took the refilled bowl with one hand and stabbed a chunk of stewed potato with my other hand. Is it tasty, honey bunch? Haha. Don't forget to chew and breathe. Ah, watching you eat my food so rapturously makes me fall for you all over again. His flaky personality hasn't changed a bit though. I sighed inwardly, ignoring Ichiya's chatter while I focus on savoring all the familiar flavors of home. Alright, Bistro Ichiya clear. Now we got a whiz message. Check it out. Sorry, it's just sorry. I just read the whiz message you sent when I was out. I didn't mean to worry you. I'm sorry. It's okay, but stay in touch next time. Sorry, I will. Sumiko is a nice lady. She told me all kinds of stories about you. What? What'd she say? That's a secret. Tell me. It showed me all your embarrassing baby photos. Although I don't think she showed up as a baby. She was like, what, 8? Do you really want to know? Just tell me. I guess I could. If you agree to go on a date with me this weekend. She just ignores him. Hibari, are you blushing? Hibari, I'm sorry. I got carried away. Hibari, hello? Hibari. It was nothing important, really. The food and the flavors you like, that's it. I liked it because it felt like I learned a secret about you only I knew. That's all, I'm sorry. Whatever, good night. Thank you, good night. Oh, he's sticking himself in the doghouse all the time. Alrighty. Let's finish up this board. Bistro behind the scenes. A tasting session exclusively for the guys. Ichiya admits that thanks to the others, he was able to patch things up. Right, let's play this event. Several days after Bistro Ichiya opened, serving Japanese food along with a side of reconciliation. It's from his perspective, of course. Whenever I closed my eyes, I could see how happy she looked when she took a big bite of the food I made for her. The surprise and joy on her face as I presented the candied chestnuts hits me right in the heart. But the loveliest of all, ever since that day, it felt like the two of us had grown a little closer. But I couldn't afford to rest on my laurels, not yet. The hell, Ichiya? How many gallons of this damn stew are you gonna make? No, don't worry, Nayato will be able to finish it off. Sorry. I just can't seem to get it right. What's wrong with Nikujaga beef stew? The ginger pork and the sweet miso radish and the dried radish strips and the braised pork belly are all super yummy. Knows all the ingredients, wow. Yeah, I know this is all practice for you, but this combination of dishes? I already have heartburn. Well, we already know Taiga has like a weak stomach. Why not ask Jeeves for some antacids? I'm not eating another bite, though. You know, Taiga, your tummy complains because you don't eat proper meals regularly. You should eat more food more often. Nom nom nom. Still eating. Hey, unlike you, I don't have a bottomless sewer for a stomach. Blech. You owe me for this, Ichiya. You owe me big time. I know. If they need a taste tester, you're not supposed to, like, eat a whole portion. You're supposed to take, like, little sips, little bites. Only Nayata can afford to just eat it all. Still, you're an awesome cook, Ichiya. I was really surprised you're not good at Japanese cooking. It was way easier than the fancy stuff you usually make. I feel like he just, like, can't control himself. Like, if he sees something, like, imperfect, everything must be perfect and beautiful. I never thought Nayata would be the one to notice. How should I answer this? I can't go digging my own grave by admitting that I focused exclusively on dishes I knew I could perfect. If I worded my answer wrong, I'd set myself up for some relentless teasing. Like, worried that you couldn't replicate the flavor of nostalgia. I shrugged, trying to look as natural as possible. I guess with Japanese cooking too. Like, if you don't have a flavor like for it, like if you grew up out of the country, like Japanese food would be unfamiliar and it would taste weird. So just like taste testing things yourself, like you wouldn't be able to get it right because it would just taste weird to you. Hey, everyone has things they're good at and things that they aren't good at. But what's that matter anyway? Forget about it and eat up. No, don't latch onto that. Just drop it. Shion stared at me, obviously doubtful. I quickly jumped into another vague explanation. Japanese cooking is pretty deep, you know. There are lots of steps that you can't master overnight. I mean, just making dashi broth can get really... It's because it's not popular cuisine with the girls, duh. Huh? Really? Is that why you didn't learn, Ichiya? Now, Nayata. You shouldn't pour lemon juice into a wound. It leaves a nasty scar. I held back a sigh, closing my eyes. Did I talk a little too fast, or did I over-explain while talking too quickly? How did they know? Why isn't Japanese cooking popular with the ladies here? It's all the rage overseas. In Japan, it's stereotypical for a girl to try and grab a guy's heart with her home cooking. And the most popular recipe for that is nikujaga beef stew. But if the guy can cook Japanese food better than her, yeah, what girl's gonna like that? Hell, I betcha she'd be intimidated instead of impressed. Ah, I see. Shion's laugh was like a dagger to the heart. I tried to recover, tried to salvage the situation. Please, don't you dare tell Hibari that. I don't know. Maybe I will. Yaks! Taiga, you're so mean. I'd watch your mouth if I were you, Nayata. If you don't, you won't get a beef bowl tomorrow. Beef bowl? I want a beef bowl. Are we having that tomorrow? Why are you getting some and not me? Wait, don't tell me. Yeah, that's right, Ichiya. Tomorrow's lunch had better be beef bowl, or I'm blabbing. Oh, I think I'd like some potatoes. Gratin, thank you. Huh? Wait, we get to ask her whatever we want? Okay. I want yakisoba and amu rice and croquettes and... Whoa, slow down, all of you, please. My cooking is from Hibari and Hibari alone. Oh dear. My lips feel especially loose today. You owe us, bro. He doesn't owe you squat. Like, oh, and fried shrimp too. Sheesh, they knew how to blackmail a fellow. I sighed heavily. I guess I kind of have to this once. Ah, well. If I just made some Japanese dishes to her taste, it was still possible she would have refused them. Their presence, their escort to the dining room, everything they did to back me up, that made it work. That let me get one step closer to her. Okay, I surrender. But only on the condition that none of you ever let this slip to Hibari. Ever? Got it? Not ever. Okay. Meanwhile, like Rabbi's right there recording. Hey, what's with all that mumbled response? I'm serious. We understand. Are you satisfied? Yeah, chicks don't dig stubborn guys, you know. Man, I can't wait until tomorrow. I mean it. Completely secret. You know, Naito can't give a secret to save his life. He might just, like, forget about it, though, after a time. He's not cunning. He's not gonna, like, use it later. Alright, Ichiya's board has been cleared. And then we just have one more chapter, and then we have to make a decision. Time to choose. My grandfather, Takabune, suddenly summons me, and it seems urgent. Alright, he's not gonna let us get away, I guess. It's like it's time to pick a guy. Alright, let's play this event. Miss Hibari, please pardon the intrusion. Yes, it's time for lights out. I know. That's not it. Well, no, that is part of it, but it's not all. Now that was strange. Kasuga usually wasn't so hesitant. I looked at him curiously. He straightened visibly, pulling himself together. In regards to your schedule tomorrow, after school is finished, we'll be heading straight to Kamakura. I have been informed the master wishes to speak with you. I don't want to go. Attendance, I was informed, is mandatory. It was like he read my mind. I sighed. I couldn't ignore him. I knew that. When that meddling old coot summoned me, I had only one choice. Go. Is that acceptable? Yes, I'll go. Kasuga reiterated the news. I reluctantly agreed. The next day, after school. Hibari, would you like to join me for some tea? I'd love to, but I'm afraid I can't. I have to go to Kamakura this afternoon. I made no effort to hide my disgust. Tsumugi grimaced. Kamakura, I presume to see your grandfather? Yes. Apparently he wants to speak with me. Ugh. He always springs these things on me without warning. What does he want to speak to you about? Something that's a waste of my time, I'm sure. Perhaps there's another suitor. Maybe two. Seek her out. Oh lord, no. Please, no. She can't handle another one on top of them all. Just a thought sent chills down my spine. Like, I already have 4. Get them off my back, please. Tsumugi looked me in the eye and saw the fear there. With the utmost seriousness, she said, You must keep in mind that there's such a thing as additional party members in this world. An RPG? Additional party members? I had no idea what Tsumugi meant by that, but I already knew I didn't like the metaphor. It's like another candidate just like swinging out of left field. I hope you had a pleasant day at school, miss. Now, if you would please make your way to the car. Yes. Kasuga was waiting for me as I stepped through the school gates. He ushered me into the car and we left. What in the world does that vulture want to talk to me about? The closer we got to Kamakura, the faster my heartbeat sped up. It's sad that she can't relax around her grandfather. Welcome home, Miss Hibari. I'm home. Where might we find the master? He's in his chambers. However, I'm afraid that at the moment, he's receiving a guest. Uh-oh, a guest. Is that so? Miss Hibari, might I ask you to wait a few minutes? Of course. I answered Kasuga distractedly. My mind was already churning with a new possibility. I wonder. Since I have a moment, I'd like to see Sumiko if I could. Well, is she busy right now? I made a point of sounding hesitant. Kasuga smiled, but it was awkward. I will go check, miss. Could I ask you to please wait in the guest house? Actually, I think I'll wait in the gardens. Of course, as you wish. As you wish. Both bowed politely and left. I turned my step towards the garden. It's so quiet. When I lived here not that long ago, I never noticed the peace. The only sounds that surrounded me were the rush of the breeze, the song of the birds, and the hiss of rain. That was it, really. Whenever I heard the sounds of laughter coming from the main house, I'd get butterflies in my stomach. The silence had been my refuge. But now, after living in that vacation home, there's something missing. Does she miss the noise? Unconsciously, I stopped to think. That's when I heard footsteps approaching me from behind. Master, where the heck are you? Was someone looking for grandfather? A servant then, but for a servant, they seemed awfully informal. New character with portrait? Almost looks like a private investigator, like from all those like cop shows and anime. A little bit disheveled, neckties a little loose. Seems to know Hibari though. What should I give it to? He just sounds like an older man, but I know I'm not gonna be able to do an older man tone. Master, Miss Hibari. Apologies for all that fuss. I wasn't aware you'd gotten back yet. The man walked around the corner and saw me. His eyes widened as he visibly recoiled in surprise. If he knew my name, that meant he was likely a servant, or an employee of some Tojo business or another. Did you like not remember him? Maybe he just like blends in the sea of faces. It wasn't unusual for people around the mansion to know who I was, even if I didn't know them at all. I guess she doesn't have the perfect memory to like remember all the faces to the names. Are you looking for grandfather? Yes. Wasn't aware you'd arrived yet, Miss Hibari. Afraid you caught me at an embarrassing moment. It's alright, I don't mind. But I heard that he is currently entertaining a guest. Really? Funny, I hadn't heard anything like that. Sheesh, that old fella can be such a handful. Grandfather? A handful? I never dreamed anyone would dare to describe him as such. Is he really one of our employees? He's like, walk in here. Pardon me, but might I ask you your name? Oh, whoops. Where are my manners? I'm the head of Master's personal security. The name is, Is it? You look like a private investigator. Alright, what's your name? Still, it's an honor to see you, Miss Hibari. Didn't hear you'd be in yet. Nope, not a word. Why are you really part of security? A little bit lax, I guess. Okay, now he's really suspicious. So, what was your name again? Oh, I'm of no consequence, miss. Nope, not me. Please tell me, I insist. You're not going to weasel your way out of this. Okay, now this is like a strange man. Do we need a guard against him? Oh, Takamune. Is that the grandpa? I forgot. Kojiro, what are you doing? A deep voice rang out, and I reflexively suppressed a start. My eyes darted to the side. It was the vulture. Oh, I guess he recognized him, though. So he's not like some random stranger. Wonder why he didn't want to tell Hibari his name. This is Kojiro, okay. Behind him, Casca walked at a respectful distance. I suspect that grandfather found him before he had a chance to find Sumiko or for me. No, she didn't. We don't get to see Sumiko. Oh. I straightened and greeted him with my usual glare. This suspicious man, however, casually strolled right up to him. Saved by the bell. Thanks, master. You rescued my hide from the miss here. She's suspicious of me now. Sure would suck if your head of security was arrested, eh? It's like, I guess I'll just arrest myself. Sheesh. I knew you'd be making trouble. Can't you be a little more dignified? Oh, come on, master. Could you at least relax? Let me relax on my days off, at least. You already act like every shift is a day off for you. How odd. Grandfather and the man were talking to each other in a totally casual tone. That villain loved nothing more than to make people dance to his tune, and here he was, chatting candidly. Your grandpa can have friends, okay? You must trust this man considerably. Still, it was hard to believe this laid-back man was a professional security guard. Grandfather saw the suspicion in my gaze and gave a little sigh. Yes, he is the head of my security, though I can understand why you'd be doubtful. I wouldn't have been if he'd simply given me his name when I asked him. Is it like a badge or something? Some sort of ID? Huh? Oh, that. Miss Hibari's just such a pretty young lady, you know. When she asked me my name, I got shy. I'm just a 40-something-year-old fart. He can't keep his eyes still. Why is he being so suspicious? So, right. Master, I just wanted to let you know that the Go board you ordered has arrived. And with that out of the way, I'd best be off. Excuse me. Okay. The man quickly walked away towards the back gardens, like he was trying to slip away from my suspicions. Something about him bugs me. What's with that look, He seemed very friendly with you. I deliberately took a snide tone, but it bounced off him. He fixed me with an amused smile. I see. Even a dense girl like yourself can grow a bit if she's surrounded by suitors. Excuse me? Before you met them, you barely noticed when people stood anywhere near me, let alone take any interest in how they behaved. Well, I bit my lip, and no more words escaped. My silence wasn't lost on Grandfather. He gave an amused chuckle. I see you can't deny what I'm saying here. They have nothing to do with anything. Ha 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 ha. Dried up, gnarled old villain. I gritted my teeth, but Kasuga stepped forward and cut off any reply I might have made. Master, the time. Understood. The cheerful look on Grandfather's face vanished and was replaced by deep furrows between his brows. We must talk. Come with me to the main house. The serious drums. Grandfather and I sat in the silent reception room facing each other. Kasuga stood discreetly in a corner. Normally he would sit out tea for the both of us and then promptly step out. But today, Grandfather explicitly told him to remain in the room. How was your life with your suitors? I'm not certain how to answer that. They're as loud as obnoxious as they've ever been. If you had to choose one right now, who would it be? Excuse me? He's making fun of me again. I readied a scathing retort, but then stopped. He's serious. There was no playful glint in Grandfather's eyes. He was asking for my honest opinion. Who would you choose? Grandfather asked again. I couldn't find my voice. I didn't have an answer for him. Not yet. I thought I still had a long time before I had to make a final decision. Hasn't even graduated high school. Part of me had expected that. When the time came, the answer would present itself to me. Like, she would just know. Like, get to know him enough, and you'd have someone that you prefer, right? I had no reason to believe it would work out, but I did. I was not informed that I had a time limit. I hadn't intended to give you one, but circumstances have changed. What's up? Grandfather seemingly noticed my confusion. He sighed heavily and began to explain. I chose suitors for you because a handful of the branch families were making a fuss and demanding that a fiancé be found for you as soon as possible. He's like trying to tie her down, like ASAP. That made sense. Kasuga told me as much, my first night at the vacation house. My relatives had started it, dragging out my father's elopement as an excuse to marry me off. I was angry, yes, but more than that, I was disappointed. However, that was a simple diversion. A diversion? I hear the head of the coalition of branch families made a disastrously poor business decision and lost a lot of money. If that was all, it'd be fine, but uh-oh. Did they, promise Hibari to, some man? In exchange? For, debt forgiveness or something? The problem is that no one reported this to me. They attempted to cover it up. To do so, they asked a certain gentleman for help. He had a demand, however. You, Hibari. He wanted your hand in marriage. Ugh. So, the branch families just, caused a big old problem. Wait, but then, why pick the four, weird guys? What? But you were refusing all marriage offers. The branch family had panicked, knowing he couldn't fulfill the man's request. That's why he demanded you be engaged. Of all the self-centered, self-serving, the man? It's like, well, if I can't have her, then prove to me that she's engaged. Is that what's it? Why is he demanding that Hibari just be engaged to, anyone? They dragged out my parents' fiasco as an excuse. They'd said so many hurtful things. They'd taken advantage of so many people. And now they were just trying to run from it all? That is the worst. Indeed, their actions were so suspicious, I had an audit done, and it dragged everything into the light. Now I'm under no obligation to dance to their tune. Wait, wouldn't that mean, you don't have to force Hibari to, marry anyone? Like the branch family's screwed, right? The expression on grandfather's face was the sternest I'd ever seen him wear. Confused, I glanced at Kasuga. He nodded in affirmation and explained things further. Though it was merely a deception, there are a number of others who agreed with the branch family head that your engagement must be rushed. Even if we refuse this instant on the grounds of said deception, it wouldn't silence them. They'd merely find other suitors and continue to insist on your engagement. In order to prevent that, the master personally handpicked these 4 suitors and arranged for your current arrangement. Where'd you pick these guys up from? That plan is presently succeeding in keeping your relatives from making any further moves. Who are these guys? What an utter mess. But that isn't what surprised me the most. Why are these 4 guys enough to, mollify the relatives? The biggest shock was that the suitors had been thrust into my life as the means to protect me. Did grandfather truly do that? But why those 4? Don't tell me the man who the branch family wants to push on me is worse than them. I asked hesitantly, and grandfather shook his head. He's an intelligent and capable young man who's the heir to a large corporation. He's young yet, still in his 20s. And to top it off, I hear he's handsome. Okay, is there something wrong with his personality? His family is newly wealthy, having built their fortune in 1 generation. But their momentum isn't slowing. Indeed, they're about to expand overseas. Sounds powerful, but sounds like if Hibari married them, the Tojo family would just get absorbed at that point. He sounds like he'd be a perfect match for the heir to the Tojo family. Yeah, but, like, you would probably have too much power, I'm thinking, in the relationship. Like, it could just end the Tojo family by just absorbing it. Like, you'd become subordinate. The faces of my 4 suitors formed in my mind. An unbearably cheesy marriage fraudster, an insufferable smug gambling addict, a kept man who lived in his own world, and a walking debt generator who was more dog than man. Why? But if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Which means the seemingly perfect person must have some kind of unspeakable secret. Perhaps he's cold and cruel. Does he maybe have a twisted personality? Or some kind of warped hobby that would send a sane person running? No, maybe he's a flagrant womanizer. Maybe this, maybe that? Grandfather grimaced at all my mumbling. Rein in that runaway imagination, girl. I already had an investigation done on him. It turns out he's not half bad. Wait, then why are we hesitating here? What? Men like him succeed. Personally, I don't dislike him. You know that's high praise. Then, why? The last thing I wanted was to be married off as part of a cleanup effort for someone else's mess. But this was someone grandfather personally endorsed. Yeah, why haven't we, like, met him yet? Like, at least meet up. Like, if everyone else seems to be fine with him, like, then Hibari can just make her own decision and say yes or no. Our union would mean a bright future for the Tojo family. Like, why are we, like, keeping him in particular at distance and having the weird four guys? Why would grandfather dismiss a seemingly perfect match in favor of 4 louts? But that wasn't the only thing that bothered me. I steeled myself and asked the question gnawing on me. I don't understand what they have that I don't. Is it better than what the branch family's match brings to the table? Is it so beneficial that the families will be satisfied if I choose one of them? If it's not, then those 4 are just a handful of pawns thrown into my life to satisfy the families? Is our living arrangement just a farce? If that's the case, then that's just not... I blinked and snapped my mouth shut. What on earth? What was I about to say? That's just not fair to them. Strange. Why would I even think that? No, you're sympathizing. Who cares about what happens to them? The thought of actually marrying any of them made me nauseous. They were loud, obnoxious, tactless. They were brilliantly talented at getting under my skin. And yet, I quieted my thoughts, straightened up, and looked grandfather in the eye. If they're just pawns, then I'm being mocked. I cringed inwardly at how hollow my voice sounded. My lies didn't fool grandfather, unsurprisingly. He grinned, amused. Don't worry, I haven't set them up as pawns. Each one of them is worthy of becoming your bridegroom. They are formal suitors in every regard. If that wasn't true, why would I let 4 lusty young men stay under the same roof with someone as naive as you? Even if there's a chaperone on the premises. Chaperone? I glanced over at Kasuga, and he nodded in affirmation, making sure no funny business happened. And the fact you haven't jumped on such an advantageous match is a sign of your own failings as well. My failings? You've been so caught up in your position as the Tojo family heir that you judged possible partners exclusively by whether they'll be a good match for the heir. But you did that only because you had no idea what married life would actually be like. Now that you lived with your suitors, you know it's not that simple. Now you understand what it's like to love and to live with another person. It's making things harder for you, yes. You can't simply make the most profitable match. I had no answer for that. The vulture was right. I'd started giving more thought to marriage since the suitors arrived. Initially, I'd rather have jumped off a cliff than marry any of them, but the more time we spent together, the more I realized they could be kinda decent too. But what would it be like to choose one as a lover, or to marry one of them? I could actually think on it now. But I'm not yet in a position where I can choose. Well, you've just been placed in that position. Grandfather cut me off, the stern expression on his face halting my words before they could form. The man heard from the Branch family head that I'd chosen suitors for you. He came to speak to me directly. He says that if you have already chosen a partner, he will withdraw. But if you have not, then he wants to be made an eligible candidate as well. He even arrived with a neat little presentation on how giving him that opportunity would benefit the family. He has a big idea about announcing your engagement at our Christmas party in order to drive up revenue. He's an ambitious man, I'll give him that. Grandfather must have been thinking about their meeting because his lips curled up in a wry smile. But the next instant his face hardened and became stern once more as he continued talking. He is undoubtedly a profitable match. He'd make an ideal fit as the family heir as well. But it's not you that he wants. He wants the Tojo family heir, nothing more. So he wanted the name, the status, the wealth. I'd long ago steeled myself for the likelihood that my eventual husband would marry me for my title. I'd resigned myself to that even before I met my suitors. And yet, I felt something weigh on my heart. It was as if, in the time I spent living with them, that cold, sterile fact got buried in the corner of my mind. This meeting served as a painful reminder. If you choose to marry him, I doubt you'll be doted on like your suitors do to you now. He's the sort to prioritize work over everything else. If you accept that and choose him of your own volition despite knowing that, I won't stop you, but if you still even have the tiniest desire to marry someone you love, you have to make a choice, and you must make it now, or it'll be too late. Kind of soon. Too soon for a high school girl. If you turn down the young man as well as the suitors that I arranged for you, I'll have no choice but to assume you don't want to inherit the Tojo family. Not only that, refusing my suitors will make it much more difficult for me to protect you. I was quite admirable to the idea of you being with a man of your own choosing, you know. Unfortunately, you seem utterly incapable of making that choice. Because she's in high school. Give her till, college. College, you meet lots of people. Utterly incapable. I couldn't deny it. I'd barely even given the thought to the idea until very recently, after all. I told myself that I would find an appropriate partner at the appropriate time. That's all. Why does it have to be in high school? Seriously, college, come on. Just wait till college or after college. You should have all the time in the world. You're still young. When I stayed silent, Grandfather turned to look over at Kasuga. He remained quiet, waiting with politely averted eyes. Grandfather turned back to me and spoke sharply. If you've no intent to inherit the Tojo family, then run away, or elope, or leave in some other fashion. If that's your choice, I won't push back against it. Yeah, just go and elope. With what funds? She's in high school, got no job, is, completely beholden to you. But if that's not the case, then choose. Now. I had to make a decision. I had to choose. This makes no sense. I considered Grandfather's words when I suddenly recalled something else that he had told me. It was when we'd met shortly after I'd been subjected to my suitor's initial torrent of marriage proposals. Act while you still have choices to make. If you can't do that, then accept others' choices for you. That is what I want you to learn. This is exactly what he warned me about that day. If I didn't choose one of my 4 suitors, I would have to accept the partner someone else presented to me. Once I made a decision, there was no turning back. This was the point of no return. I felt like I was being crushed under the weight of the decision. Desperate for help, I looked to Kasuga. Kasuga, if you were in this position... Do not rely on Kasuga! No matter how much faith you have in him, he is still merely a butler. He cannot make your life decisions for you. Think, Hibari. There's no room for mistakes. Grandfather glared over at Kasuga, who could do nothing but send me a pained glance and bow in acquiescence. He's right. It wasn't just Kasuga either. I couldn't ask anyone for advice on this. I mustn't. If I did, I'd be making them responsible for my life. I had to make this decision for myself. I had to choose the right one. The man who everyone would accept as a good match for the Tojo family heir. And yet... Hibari. Hey, babe. Taiga doesn't even say her name. Hibari. Hibari! The faces of all four of them flitted through my mind, my hand clenched in my lap. Alright, I have to choose. I'm guessing if I say I can't choose, would it just like throw me into a bad ending? Alright, let's make a decision. I took a deep breath, trying to calm the pounding of my pulse in my ears. Even if I did choose one of the suitors you provided, will the Branch families accept the choice? Especially considering the position they are in. The result of Grandfather's audit on these people was not flattering in the least. In fact, the suitors they were proposing seemed stellar compared to the rash, bumbling selves. Grandfather must have scented my concern because he did not sound the least bit worried. Indeed, their position is on the surface quite bad, but that's irrelevant. The four suitors I presented all have qualities that will be of value to you. Even if the Branch families make a fuss over your choice, I can silence them with that. The qualities they have, things that they have that I don't. Even now, can I not ask you to tell me what those qualities are? I promised them that you would not hear it from me. And besides, it's important to observe people as themselves, outside their titles and families, especially when choosing someone with whom to share your life. Get to know those four well enough, and their qualities will make themselves apparent to you. What do you think of them after that is up to you. Up to me. What would I feel once I truly knew all that there was to know about them? I couldn't even imagine. But a part of me was at least a tiny bit curious. If I were to choose someone right now, would that honestly set them in stone as my future husband? Well, I personally wouldn't mind if you chose that. All of a sudden, Grandfather smirked. But I'm well aware that you've only just begun to understand them and who they truly are. The purpose of today was to have you express your willingness to make a choice. Pick one, and I'll have him announced as your fiancé, for the moment. However, in order to make certain the best possible candidate is chosen, the other three suitors will remain, allowing you to judge them with all appropriate gravity. That's what we'll tell everyone, at least. If we say that much, the Snoops in the Branch family won't have any ammunition left. What? This is, in effect, a convenient excuse to get out of any pesky marriage interviews and buy you time. If you decide you don't like who you pick, well, that's that. Okay, he's giving us an out. Grandfather's laughter rang out through the room. Cheerful, happy laughter. Then why on earth have you been so solemn until now? Oh-ho! So you're not amused, After I went to all that effort to put on a convincing performance, it sure made the gravity of your situation clear, yes? I even did you the special favor of preparing an escape route for you this time, too. Performance? Special favor? That meddlesome old coot. Besides, you're dense enough, I reckon I'd have to go this far to shake any sense of romance you might have awake. See? I'm a considerate and kind grandfather. From the reports I've read, you treat them like a group of friends with too much free time on their hands, or like cousins on an extended visit. You're supposed to be trying to view them as potential romantic interests. Ugh. You can be such a hopeless case at times, girl. Well, you gave me such weirdos. Ah, well, now that you're taking one on as a potential fiancé, you'll have to think of them in a romantic context. Cleverly done, if I do say so myself. We haven't made a choice, though. Grandfather nodded, looking entirely too self-satisfied. I felt a vein in my temple begin to throb. Kasuga. Miss? What sort of report are you sending? A detailed recounting of everything as it happens. The traitor. I stared at Kasuga furiously. Grandfather, however, was growing impatient. He smirked at me. Enough stalling, girl. Go on and choose a temporary boyfriend. Go on now. Pick one. Anyone. Give me a minute. Oh, stop dragging your feet. You can decide these sorts of things on a whim. Go on. Say whichever names come to mind first and be done with it. Ah! My thoughts spun. The first face I saw in the storm was... Alright, we'll make a decision. So... Otome Kitten's Guide recommends the soft route, like Nayata, Shion, then Taiga, then save Ichiya for last. So we'll start off with Nayata, the dog boy. Now that I have this, I can protect you without worrying about anything else, Hibari. This charm will protect me, so I can put all my focus on protecting you. What? Why? Please, you gotta believe me. I'm pretty good, you know. You can lean on me whenever. I'll be there for you. I'll take Nayata. Oh? He's a massive problem child with serious attention issues, but he tries. He really does. I can't see him ever betraying me. Besides, I like border collies. Grandfather watched, clearly amused as I mumbled my hasty reasoning. You're choosing a fiancé, not a dog. After a moment, he silently stood to leave. Okay, I will communicate this to the branch families. Kasuga, take care of the rest if you please. Understood, master. The screens closed and Grandfather's steps faded. Once I could no longer hear them, I sighed, as all my strength deflated from me in a rush. But at the same time, an indescribable feeling danced along my nerves and swept up through my body. Ugh, what in the world was all that? Driving me into a corner like I was a game piece? Kasuga grimaced, walking up to me as I groaned in frustration. I'm sure you must be quite worn out now, miss. Shall I pour some fresh tea? I think I want some air instead. I'm tired. You were told much of grave import in very stressful circumstances. It's no wonder you're confused. Yes, there's that, of course. But that isn't the only reason I'm exhausted. The master's actions. I nodded, saying nothing. What Grandfather told me sat strangely with me, shielding me from the branch family's machinations, respecting my opinion and my choices. Given the way Grandfather had acted around me before, it was hard to imagine he was still the vulture I knew. He had always viewed me as the Tojo family heir only, never as myself. If I did not behave as a proper heir, I held no value for him. According to the whispers and rumors, at least, but you didn't hear it from him. That only spurred me to work harder. I told myself I was going to show him up, make him respect me. I knew he had to be up to something with the suitors he chose for me. But the fact he chose them to protect me, he's almost acting like a doting grandfather who cares for his grandchild. Ugh, that crafty villainous old coot. What is he up to this time? I glared at Kasuga, miffed at the part he played. He said nothing, pointedly not looking in my direction. Kasuga, you know that grandfather only sees me as his heir and nothing more, right? You were the one who encouraged me to work harder so I could show him up, right? So why? Miss Hibari. No matter how hard one tries to divine a person's true intent, only that person knows the truth. And at the moment, I believe you have more pressing concerns. Agreed. Trying to figure out what goes through that villain's twisted mind is a waste of time anyway. I have to figure out what to do now. Though it's only facade, I did choose a fiancé. Indeed. In regards to that, there are a few matters which I ought to inform you. Firstly, please keep the fact that you have chosen a temporary fiancé a secret from all four of them. Were they to know, it's possible they might choose to give up and leave entirely. We cannot say for certain that you won't change your mind on them a time or two after all. It's likely best to keep them handy for now. Keeping them handy? It's the truth after all. And one more thing, miss. Considering the delicacy of the situation, we must be extremely careful about the men around whom you are seen. The branch families may keep an eye on you. Actions such as visiting cafes with men you've met on the street are utterly out of the question. Kasuga's warning was disturbingly detailed. I felt a cold bead of sweat drip down my spine. Did he see us with Kazu? What do you mean? That man's names himself Kazu, correct? Uh-oh. Wait, is he gonna be, like, important later? What? How? The only person I told about him was Aramura, and she helped me build an alibi to see him. But I never mentioned his name, even to her. But somehow... You must underestimate my capabilities, if this surprises you so terribly much. Though I must admit, I'm even more surprised. I never expected you to attempt to hide something from me. Come on, man, give her some slack! Kasuga's voice was quiet, and his face expressionless. He was livid. His gaze was so cold, I had to suppress a shiver. Desperately, I tried to make my trembling lips move. Kasuga? There's a good reason. And Kazu is a nice, respectful gentleman. His character is irrelevant. The problem is that he is a man, and he is not one of your suitors. And you are having clandestine meetings with him. If the branch families were to learn of this, they'd pounce on it in a heartbeat. Then everything the master has done for you will be undone. I trust I've made myself clear. I couldn't make myself agree with Kasuga. Kazu was the first person I'd ever met who was so easy to talk to. Miss, not only must you never meet with him again, I ask that you delete his contact information from your Wiz account right now, while I watch. Oh, that's not fair! Even Wiz? Yes, it's for your own sake. I hope you'll understand. This is, like, unusually cruel. You are not allowed to have any friends that we don't approve of. Okay, but please at least let me send him a message to thank him and say... Oh, before I could finish my sentence, Kasuga tugged my phone out of my hands and... Here. Contact deleted. Wow. No way to undo. Undo! What? It's important to know when to give up. That's kind of scary. Kasuga, how could you... It's so rude to cease all contact out of the blue. I could never do a thing like that. He'd given me so much advice on so many things, and he treated me to pancakes too. You fed me. I hadn't done anything at all for him in return. Everyone knows social media is impersonal. There's even a term for dropping all contact with another. Ghosting. It's common, so please don't despair. Don't make this sound like it's not my responsibility. Okay, a little scary that he forced stuff to cut contact with Kazu so vehemently. What? Wait, what if Kazu? What if Kazu's the fiancé that they chose? What if the branch that he's actually the rich businessman? He's just incognito, but looks pretty much like Ichiya. But then that'd be funny if the rich businessman was also Ichiya, just hiding within the four suitors. Oh, that would be weird. Okay. Don't worry, miss. When he realizes you've ceased to reply, he'll give up. Now then, let us be on our way. If we don't hurry, the men might cause a fuss. Them causing a fuss. That wasn't a threat anymore. Though thoroughly depressed, I plodded after Kasuga. Kind of weird that he made sure to cut Kazu out, which means Kazu's probably an important person, not just someone you vent to. Kazu, I'm so sorry. But right now, I did need to focus on them most of all. On him. I steeled myself, determined to see him for who he is. I would think on everything for myself. I certainly had no shortage of questions to ponder. Okay, is that it? Okay, time to choose clear. That was a kind of long chapter. I thought it would be short. Usually in otome games, the visual novels, the choosing chapter is really short. Alright, here's Nayata's second board. Doggy Master. Alright, we're on wrap for Nayata next. Alrighty, so let's save. Goodies. I don't know, Nayata's... He's weird. He's the youngest one, so kind of think he's better for Hibari in that regard, but I mean his intelligence puts him down at child level. He's just unusually strong. Alright, let's save. I need a little break. Yeah, that was a little longer than I anticipated. Okie doke. Yeah, look at the... Let's do Nayata's route in the next episode. I'm a little excited. The common route was pretty long, all things considering. But yeah. I think probably my favorite person so far would be Taiga. A little sad that they save him for third though, which means Ichiya's the cover boy too. He's also kind of front and center on the box art. There's also a true ending though, so they might pull out some dark horse candidate that they don't usually show in the box because secret route's supposed to be secret route. Okie doke. Well, anywho, hope you guys are having a fun and relaxing time, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.